Well, we can share with the listeners that I got to go visit Bridget at her house. And it's super nice.
Oh, except it rained the entire weekend.
Not every second, but yeah.
For the most part. And
wet.
everything we planned was half canceled. Not all of it. The things inside stayed.
Yes. And I'm not gonna lie, I think my favorite was the Marvel exhibit.
Which was the results of rain, so that was a good thing for you.
That was a surprise thing.
That is on brand for this podcast, so you should talk about it.
Yeah. What's the name of that museum? Is it the Museum of Science and...
Industry.
Okay. So then they had a Marvel exhibit, and it was like It's Not There All the Time.
Yep. It was,
so whatever that's called.
Well, just a special exhibit.
Is there a name? Okay, special exhibit.
I don't know.
And wow, it was really cool. It was just like the history of I would say comics. I mean, they talk about the movies too, but it was just kind of talking about how Marvel came to be and then all of the different characters and timelines. And I took a picture of Spider-Man.
Oh, you did?
I did. Sure did.
Mary Jane style. Check out that episode to learn more.
Yeah, I did do a Mary Jane-esque kiss. But they had like costumes and stuff. I don't know if did you look up close to those costumes? Because it was like, this is on loan from Disney. And
that was
like,
so cool.
So cool.
I think Iron Man was my favorite though, because it was
cool.
Like plastic and it had electronics, and I just couldn't believe Robert Downey Jr. wore that. Like, I'm like, it didn't even look like somebody could wear it. It looked like an actual robot. It was crazy.
I felt like that with Thor's costume because I was like, honestly, thought he was going to be taller.
You're like, no, it ruined my fluff fantasy. Spider-Man, you're my man.
It's like an illusion, and even like his hammer, like it was way smaller than, I don't know.
Never meet your heroes, Kate. Never meet them.
That sounds like a sexual innuendo, and I hate it.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello there.
Hello.
How we doing?
Is that where all of the weird sound effects that I've ever made come from? Do they come from this movie, you think?
You might be an alien from Remulac.
Or that, yes. That could be. Welcome back, listeners. Glad to have you back. I'm going to introduce us. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And Narfle the Garthok!
Your punishment is to...
I tried to spell that in my notes, and I was like, it's all wrong.
Autocorrect was like, that is not waffle? I was like, no, autocorrect.
Okay,
what's our movie?
Our movie this week is Coneheads.
Ooh, 1993, folks.
Which is the best year for movies. I'm just saying.
Yes, drink every time you've heard that, listeners. It also was derived from an SNL skit from 1977.
Oh my god.
How about them apples?
That's crazy. I didn't realize it was like a 70s. Wow.
Yes. Cuckoo Bananas.
Do you know if it was then a recurring
Yeah, it was for a bit, but like, I mean, not 20 years or however long, 10 plus years.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was The Blues Brothers was the first SNL skit to movie.
Yeah.
Then it was Wayne's World skit to movie. And then it was this, Coneheads.
Wow. I like all those movies.
Yeah.
So, way to go.
I was reading that Coneheads didn't do the best in the box office. Like, when it came out, people were like, meh. And I think it's hard to live up to the SNL hype of a 2-minute skit to a movie? I mean, it's kind of hard to do.
But also knowing that it came out, like, the skit, the idea was in the 70s, like, why did they wait till the 90s to do.
I couldn't find that anywhere. I have no idea.
Because I bet the Blues Brothers, that type of like skit was probably closer to when that movie came out, and same with Wayne's World.
Yeah.
So like obviously people are going to want to see those movies because it's like relevant, and like Coneheads, it's like kind of random in that respect. So interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Bridge, do you want to do a synopsis? Do you want me to do a synopsis?
I'm going to pass that to you by bowing my cone head to bless you.
And our lights go.
I think it's technically like a hug or a kiss, so there you go.
Yeah, who knows?
Good luck with this synopsis.
Okay. All right, listeners. Well, let's see. We start off with Coneheads in a spaceship. I guess they're trying to invade Earth, but there's only like one ship. I don't know. So they get shot down real fast because America's like, get the f*** out of our airspace, sir. They literally are like, please answer us. And then they wait 5 seconds and they go, okay, shoot them. And I was like, okay, what if their microphone wasn't working? Who knows? Anyway, so they basically get shot down. Now they're on Earth. They don't have a ship. They're like, oh, snap, what are we going to do? And it's two Coneheads, Beldar, who is played by Dan Aykroyd, and Prymatt, with a T, Prymatt, who is played by Jane Curtin. They are married, and, you know, they're aliens, so they're kind of quirky, but don't worry, they speak English. It's a magical day for all. And so they kind of assimilate into Earth, and they're basically trying to rebuild, like, a communication device to communicate with their planet, because I guess their, like, fellow aliens were like, go f*** yourselves, we don't care what happened to you, we're busy. And so when they finally are able to get in touch with them, they're like, we're not gonna be able to come help out for, like, I don't know what it equates to in human years.
Like 17?
17 years?
Something like that.
Okay, so yeah, actually that makes sense. So it's a long time, and they're like, what the F? Oh no. Meanwhile, Beldar is like, living his best life, getting jobs, and then he gets like a social security number that's like, obviously he doesn't have one. And this is where we get introduced to what I considered Trump's America, where the immigration office is like, you know, taking their lives really seriously and aggressively, and what the f*** is going on. But luckily it's played by Michael McKean, so we don't hate it as much because we love him.
Mr. Green.
David Spade's there too. He's kind of wormy, and he was young in this movie. It was weird to see.
A little baby.
I know.
Wait, fun fact to insert. 16 SNL cast members are in this film.
Whoa! Wow, that's a lot. That's probably more than I knew.
Oh, yeah.
So immigration, they're like, uh-oh, this guy's using a fake social security. We're gonna go hunt them down, because that's what we do. We hunt down everyone. And it's dumb. So then Beldar and Prymatt are basically on the run from these guys for a while, and they're getting different jobs. Then eventually they move into a house, have a baby, and then the immigration guy, I guess, like, gets a promotion. So he's like, I don't care about this anymore, even though it literally was my life and soul every day, all day. It's all I cared about. Now I don't care because I'm gonna get a promotion where I'm going to make, I don't know if you caught this, Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be making an extra $1,500. That's 1,500 a year. And that was enough money to get him to not care about his hell-bent revenge on someone he's never met. Okay, so they have a baby. Coneheads have a baby. Her name's Connie. We love our Connies here because guess what? This is also a cool Connie. She's a cool character. We like her. And it just kind of shows her growing up, and now she's like in high school, and I guess she's 17 now. I don't know. She starts dating a guy who's Chris Farley. Oh
Ronnie and Connie.
Connie and Ronnie and Connie. Wow. And so there's kind of, you know, stuff with that. And then meanwhile, the immigration guy somehow basically gets, like, I don't know, thrust back into the plot of having to hunt down the Coneheads. So that becomes a thing. Meanwhile, Beldar is, like, at a country club, and again, he's living his best life. He's a business owner. He's a homeowner. He's a father. He's on the PTA. It's crazy. And, you know, not a lot of crazy important plot stuff happens. It's just kind of like little stuff. And then the conflict comes where, oh my God, we finally got word we're gonna get rescued. It only took 17 years, but we're gonna get rescued. And the daughter's like, I don't want to go because Earth is the best. And then the dad's like, you're gonna go. And then the immigration guy's like, get off the Earth, but don't, because I want to arrest you first. And you're like, that makes no sense. So you work that out. And then they basically get brought back to the planet. There's a Narfle the Garthok. And then at the end, Beldar's like, I'm going to take over Earth. And everyone's like, hooray. And then as he goes to do it, he pulls the old switcheroo. I don't know if that's the correct term. Actually, now I think about it. He swindles the other aliens by going, we're getting attacked. Oh no, everybody leave. And they just do because I don't think these people like Beldar because they literally just keep leaving
They're like,
him.
thank God, that dude
they're like,
sucks.
quick, don't look back. And then Beldar gets his family out and he makes his spaceship blow up so everybody thinks they died. And then he's like, we're gonna live on Earth and life's gonna be great. And Michael McKean is Mr. Green. He's gonna give us a Mr. Green card.
Oh,
okay,
look at that. You added that.
Connie and Ronnie go to the prom, and then we all live happily ever after on Earth.
It's just about a dad alien loving his daughter.
Yeah.
Am I right?
And that's it. And, you know, it's a comedy, so it's not really super heavy on the plot, if you will.
Yep.
Not so much. But that was a short synopsis, right? I tried. Thank you.
I think you did excellent.
Thank you
There's
so
something
much.
about, like, comedies that sometimes are a little bit hard to review or talk about because there isn't a lot of, like, substance to it.
Yeah.
But, okay, I looked up Roger Ebert reviewed it and, like, was
Hated
like,
it.
this sucks. Was like, this is a terrible movie. And I don't know, I'm like, it's light. Like, why do you take this serious? Who cares? I think the funny part about it is the, like, commitment to their personalities as these aliens. And that's what makes this so funny. The plot is whatever. I mean, it's adorable that he, like, loves his daughter so much. And then, like, the whole 93, they, like, nailed the immigration, which is funny. So, you know how they kept calling themselves the INS?
Yeah.
So that doesn't exist anymore. Because in 2003 is basically when they started, like, ICE. And there's, like, oh my God, there's, like, two more I can't even think of. But it's funny that it was all about, like, you need to work. It's all about, like, showing your value with working. And now I feel like it's like, you just can't be here. Like,
now it's like, get off my lawn. And you're like, what?
You're like, wait, but I'm, like, doing the jobs that, like, kids are quitting Burger King at, like massive rates. Like, you know what?
Michael McKean at the end, he literally was like, Beldar's like, you're going to give me a green card or I'm going to kill you. And Michael McKean's retort is, well, are you going to be able to work a job better than a human? That's what Dad said. And I was like, your life's on the line, bro. Like, again, this is a real big passion of yours. I don't know why or what happened in your childhood that made you such a sad man to care so hard about this. And Beldar's like, that'll be easy. I was like, he already had like 8 jobs he was doing great at. I don't think jobs is the issue here. I just don't.
The one scene where we're introduced, I think his name is Seedling. Mr. Seedling. Who? That's like Michael McKean.
Oh.
I think like Agent Seedling, I think something.
I never got his name because I just called him Michael McKean in all my notes.
So, but when we first meet him, you see this kind of miniature landscape of the border.
Oh my God,
and he is explaining how with illegal aliens, they called it in the whole movie.
He called them aliens, yeah.
We're gonna give them like a dog invisible collar, and when they cross the border, we will electrocute them, and they symbolize it, and then the little miniatures person lights on fire.
Catches on fire, yes!
And David Spade is like, ooh, okay, boss. Like, he's so, like, swarmy. He's like, that's a nice move. Yikes.
For that part, I wrote, I'm pretty sure this was an actual Trump immigration plan. Thank God it didn't pass, because what the f*** are we talking about right now?
I'm just like,
holy moly.
This hits different post-Trump experience, but...
Well, it's very interesting, because I do feel like, I think rewatching it, what I noticed that I liked about the movie is, even though it's a comedy and it's like whatever, it does a really good job of like portraying these people who obviously look different, they act different, but in reality they don't really get treated that differently by other people. Like everyone's like super accepting of them. Like there's like one time some idiot guy like tries to make fun of Beldar's head.
Phil Hartman.
Nobody else. Wait, the guy on the golf course?
No. Phil Hartman played another guy. It was Tom Arnold. You got it.
Yeah. But like nobody else laughed at it. You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, I like this take on it because I feel like it could have gone in the other direction where like they tried to make a lot of jokes laughing at the main characters. Yeah. And people like being mean to them, but it wasn't like that. And so I think that made it better because then you would see the immigration guy like getting all like crazy about like, they're different people!
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, dude, take a chill pill. Holy moly.
Think about our most recent episode with Long Duck Dong from 1984. So we're only talking 9 years. Yeah. And everyone just made fun of that character. And these people had giant cone heads, like literal 12-inch cones on their head. And people were like, no hair. He's my best worker. And that was the thing. Everyone that had him as an employee was like, he is the finest worker I have ever known to man. And you're just like, yeah. It's a good call out.
Or even with like Connie, where it's like, there's never times where, I don't know, like she like tries to like, wants to date someone and they're like, ew, gross. Yeah. No, like she literally gets hooked up with someone right away.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, Connie's cool. You better count your lucky stars. You're going to Subway with her because she's pretty cool.
The only other woman I've seen eat that way is my mom.
I was like, it's a little weird of a comment, but
I was like, ew, Chris
okay. Oh god. I know it's fluffy light movie, but I wouldn't mind actually going through some scenes, scene by scene, and just talking about that. We can also hit on how many SNL characters are there. Maybe we could try to hit them all.
16. Let's try to hit them. So the start of it is basically our Air Force from New Jersey. You hit off the movie in Jersey. Yeah. And they basically have to flee. They get hit, put on their invisible cloak. I mean, when did Men in Black come out? They needed to learn from all the other aliens in New York because they literally landed in the Hudson River. And I was like, there's so many aliens here. You need to find other people to help you. And I feel like the beginning of like them just beginning to like see this Earth and what the hell to do with it. It wasn't actually over the top. Some of the like toilet paper eating when he's just like inhaling toilet paper and like you're just like, what? But it wasn't.
I think that's funny.
It wasn't like horrific, and I loved that they shuffled everywhere. Every time they shuffled, I laughed so hard.
Or when she's reading the Bible and laughing hysterically, and I was like, yep,
she goes from reading the Bible to like buying every Cosmopolitan magazine ever.
I know.
She is so good. But basically, they get a hotel and they realize right away that they're like stuck on Earth because I couldn't understand. Okay, so Remulak is their planet and their boss, the leader, whoever the hell that guy was. I couldn't understand like why were they in trouble that they got like stuck on Earth. He was like, he is not going to be happy with you, so you're going to be there for 17 years. I was like, that's dramatic. I mean, it was an accident.
I don't know if the 17 years delay was like part of the punishment or if they just were like, listen, we're just a little busy. Okay, we've got some long-term plans and you weren't part of it. So you got to kind of wait till we check things off.
I like the theory that they all don't like him and they're just like trying to come up with excuses to never like bring him back.
They're like, oh, it's him again. Oh, geez. Tell him it'll take 17 years or something. Buy us some time. God.
But this is like kind of an immigrant interesting story because they go like, we will be rescued, but until then, we must adapt. And then you like literally see them try to assimilate. And they're just like, what's a social security card? Why do I need that? And you're like, good question. Why do you? Like, this is hysterical.
I wanted to know, too, why, first of all, his boss was Sinbad.
Oh, my God. Sinbad. Oh.
Sinbad and Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin had, like, a 2-second cameo. I think you mentioned his name last time, and I was like, what? In this? But, like, Sinbad's his boss, and he pays him, like, under the table.
Yeah.
Like, he's paying him cash. So, in my head, I was like, why do you need social security? Isn't that the point of, like, paying someone under the table?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I got workers' comp. I got all this. And I was like, Sinbad, I think you're confused about how you're doing the cash stuff. I don't know.
Pick one lane or another. He also gives him advice. Look good, be your own boss, never get chained to a desk, and cash only. Well, Sinbad, take your own advice.
Yeah, thank you. Also, I'm pretty sure Beldar followed all that advice because he literally does all those things. I mean, I don't know about the look good. That's subjective, but, you know.
Well, he gets his teeth done.
That's true,
and
actually.
And you gotta do something about those teeth. I was like,
oh
Sinbad, we're not gonna mention his cone head. We're gonna say, hey, you know what? The teeth are your problem.
There were so many points in this movie where I was like, how the f*** do these people not know he's an alien from outer space? Like, he's giving it away pretty easily. Also, so let's see. I'm assuming Sinbad was on SNL.
Yes.
Eddie Griffin? Was he on SNL?
I
feel like he was.
I think so.
Okay, Sinbad, Eddie Griffin. Phil Hartman plays, like, another Conehead. That's the guy that he keeps, like, talking to from Remulac. That was Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
So that's 3. And then the next one is Adam Sandler, who is just a guy who gives out Social Security cards to people.
Donald R.D. Chico.
R.D. Chico.
Donald R.D. Chico.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's got a good gig, because didn't that, like, flag the INS department where they're like, Donald R.D. Chico has been 10 other men, and we've all arrested them, but somehow Adam Sandler keeps getting this Social Security card to give away. He's like, hysterical.
Well, he's the middleman, so it's never gonna come back to him, I guess. So, wow. I'm actually looking, so this was one of his first movies.
Oh, wow.
Billy Madison came out in 95, which is the best Adam Sandler movie. Don't come at me, people. Okay. And then David Spade, who we already kind of talked about. He's like, he's really wormy. He's so wormy.
He always does that, though. Like, his entire personality was, I am going to stop other people from giving the boss anything and say, hey, I'll take that. He's having a bad day. Which, I gotta tell you, I bet you a lot of people, like, that's, like, their personality.
I was gonna say, like, do you work with anyone like that?
I bet you I do, if I, like, paid attention. And then he pops in some condoms to chew as gum.
Which, like...
I kept thinking, who came up with that? Because that's kind of brilliant and disgusting.
Yeah. As a kid, I obviously did not know those were condoms.
Nope, same.
And I was like, everyone's laughing, and I don't know.
Same. I had no idea.
It does kind of look like gum. It's just a weird shape. I thought it was just a balloon. I was like, that's silly. Don't chew a balloon. And, well, I guess it kind of is.
I mean, it kind of is.
So, okay, then Sinbad, like you said, is like, yo, your teeth are horrible. Go change them. And he does, because I think Beldar really respects Sinbad and all of his advice.
He was at the birth of his child in the delivery room. Like, that's how you know you have a close boss.
I love that scene so much. So John Lovitz is the dentist, and
oh my god,
he probably was also SNL.
Yes.
I love when he's like, okay, open, and he looks and he sees there's like 3 rows of teeth, and he goes, and close, and then he's just like, he makes this weird face. So funny.
All I kept thinking about is like, he would be a great meditation like person, because he was so calm. And then even when he was like, open wider, and then literally Dan Aykroyd it looked like Beetlejuice, like his entire mouth was like by his stomach, and he was like, great. I'm like, dude, there's a market, ASMR or whatever the hell you call it, like, John Lovitz has a market.
Yeah, that was a part where I was like, how do you idiots not realize he's an alien? This is not normal. What's going on? Are you guys also high on the nitrous oxide? Because what's going on? Also, this is so sad that I thought about this, but because, our family does not have awesome genes when it comes to our teeth, we brush them and they still get cavities. So I kept thinking, I'm like, Beldar does not have dental insurance. He's trying to get all these teeth capped. Like, this is going to be minimum like $10,000. Like, there's no way. This is crazy. Unless in the 90s, the prices were different, but like, whoa.
Especially
Nelly.
with his under-the-table job. I mean, they're living in a trailer. There's no way this could happen.
I know. I was like, okay, that's the least believable thing in this alien movie. Let me tell you.
While his jaw unlocks, it's definitely the dental bill.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then we quickly get introduced at the same time to Michael McKean and David Spade.
Yes.
But like that like you kind of get it quickly and you're like, okay, I get what's happening. The one thing you have to give them, compared to some other cops or FBI and any other shows, is like they find them right away.
Oh, right away.
I kind of was like, they're pretty good at their job, but they can't like close at the end. So they get away right at like the nick of time by basically blasting out of the whatever it's called,
like the trailer.
Yeah,
whatever. But it's funny too because it's like, as we mentioned, they shuffle everywhere, so like they're not moving too fast, and I feel like they probably could have caught up to them, but they didn't. They gave up when they were on the other side of a wall.
Oh my god!
It's fine. And then that's what leads them to now. Beldar is working as a cab driver in New York, and he's living like in the basement of a house of the guy he works for. I didn't get that guy's name either. I don't know. I was missing names left and right.
I didn't get his name either.
But that was the guy who was like, he's the finest man who's ever worked for me.
So then you also, simultaneously, you're seeing as they assimilate to Earth, like move up, like the ladder, like the middle class ladder, because we start with a trailer. Then they basically get like, a normal apartment size. And do you remember that Beldar goes on like a capitalist rant about like, this is not acceptable. We have our impending cone is on the way, and this will not do. We must go bigger. And she's like, I've been saving Beldar. I was like, damn!
Oh my god. He was so like,
funny.
One with better schools and a better tax bracket. I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was middle class-esque for the 90s, I guess.
It was so funny. And between that and then like her water breaks right away, and that's like the giant tidal wave. Which, good lord.
Scary.
That delivery scene, though, was so funny. She looked like she was on a roller coaster ride at Six Flags.
Yes. And I laughed the entire time, because every time I see the scene, I cannot stop laughing, because it's just such chaos. They give Beldar oxygen because he's just like hyperventilating, and Sinbad the taxi driver trying to take pictures, and it's just, oh my god.
I hate you, Beldar!
Oh my god, I love it. And then when the baby's born, Sinbad and the taxi driver start crying.
And how about when he cuts the umbilical cord with his teeth?
I hate that. I'm glad they didn't like show that, and it was just kind of like a it's happening, but you're not looking at it thing. Because I was like, if you showed that, no.
But basically, right away after they deliver the kid, they immediately move to that new house, and they again, Michael McKean, who's kind of on it finds the new place and is just about to arrest him, and he misses him by a week.
Yeah, and that's where the guy's like, the finest worker I've ever met. He smelled great. He was always on time. I was like, these are weird. Smelling great is nice, but is that necessary?
I don't know. I also was like, why is he wearing a turban? Why do we have him wearing a turban?
Oh, you mean Beldar?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
isn't that kind of like a religious thing? Or maybe I'm not educated with that, but
I think it is, and I don't know. There were definitely a lot of times I felt like they were trying to like, it might have honestly been like a costume choice to be like, hey, we don't want to put this whole like, cone on your head today, so we're just gonna put a turban on it and like pretend your cone is under it. Because I actually felt that way with like when he was wearing the Abe Lincoln costume and when Connie was wearing the princess costume. I was like, y'all definitely are not wearing your fake cones on there.
Oh,
because
no.
like, what? Yeah, like what? So I don't know.
But this is simultaneously when Michael McKean is like, I got the call. I'm getting the promotion. So even though I am so close to catching this guy,
oh my god,
I am going to give up for the next like 10 years or
it's long. It's like 17.
It's like, oh, okay, it's like 17.
Because the baby was born and she literally then is like a senior in high school when we were like done with the montage.
My god. Which, by the way, that was a great montage.
I love the montage. It felt like so you grew up in the 90s and your parents did home videos. Like that's exactly what it felt like. I was like, are these my home videos? Because wow.
You are a home video queen.
I love the home videos.
People,
so
Katie
funny.
would rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and has everything memorized.
I do. I haven't done that in a long time though, because I don't think we've owned a VCR player for the last like 10 years. But you know,
yes.
If we did, I would watch them.
In the scene when they're on the beach, and then she jumps on the sandcastle and he gets all mad. So that is Dan Aykroyd's actual daughter.
Oh,
how
so
cute!
Oh, I love that.
I thought that was so stinking cute.
I love that.
And you know, the thing, we're not going to do it justice because this would just be like 15 hours long, but they make so many like small comments that are hysterical.
Yes.
One of them, they're talking about people talking about astronauts to the moon, and then they start like laughing hysterically, and I'm like, oh my god, like they're just so subtle with everything.
Their terms for certain things, like their cursing is nibs.
Nibs! At first I thought that was the wife's name. I was like, is her name Nibs? And then I'm like, no, he seems to like say that a lot.
It's like a curse word, yeah.
And
then I thought it meant like cops, but then I was like, no, that's not, no, they're saying it like all the time. It's not just like when the cops are there.
I can't even pretend to speak in their language because they are essentially, if you took a software engineer and like somebody that is so stinking smart and like the only way they could describe things is in the longest way possible, that's how they speak.
Yep.
I like could barely follow. Like instead of saying the word pig, they would go on like a 15-word description. And I kept thinking, damn, they put in a lot of work with this dialogue because they say it really fast, really long, and I kind of got every fourth word. Like, I couldn't even keep up.
That's like the scene where they go to talk to the neighbors, and she's like, oh, you should come over this weekend because we're going to be searing mammal flesh on the... And she like talks for a long time, and the lady goes, that sounds nice. I'll make some coleslaw.
I mean, she
so
was
good.
married to Jason Alexander, so she was kind of like, I'm over it.
And how much of a baby did he look like?
Baby.
I was like, oh, you look so different. Because what was he? He was on Seinfeld, right?
Yes.
God, I just, like, it was weird to see him in that. I bet this was one of his early movies.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, obviously, so the montage ends, and now Connie is, I kind of took it as she's, like, a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And she's cool and hip, and it was interesting, too, because they, again, like, almost like how it would go for any other immigration story of parents or immigrants, but they have a son or daughter that grow up in America, and then obviously, like, that kid talks differently and has different mannerisms and different interests, and I like that.
Oh.
You know, she still had alien quirks, which again, nobody noticed, but that's fine. But she was like, I'm also a teenage girl, and I'm going to loudly sing with my friends in the car as we talk like crazy people, and I was like, this is the best!
Well, when we get introduced to her, he goes, oh, what have you done to your cone? And she's like, Dad, it's not a real tattoo, it's a fake one. And he's like, if everybody jumped off the funicular starburst, would you too? And she's like, Dad, I'll go get rid of it.
Oh my
and
God.
I loved, because he repeated it a lot, maintain low tones with me.
Maintain low tones.
I feel like screaming that at random people. Maintain low tones with me. Oh my God.
I know there are definitely some lines where I'm like, could I say this in real life and not have people look at me weird? But I don't know.
In my kind of like fun facts hunting, a lot of people in like comments of websites say, I call my parents parental units because of this movie.
Units? Oh!
Your parental
That's so
units.
funny.
I was like, oh my God. But
I
we
love it.
quickly get introduced after, I think you called it out, is when they're in the car singing.
So amazing.
It is so funny, and actually that makes me think of Mom, because I feel like she would laugh hysterically because she's like, all I did was drive you asshole kids around, and all you did was scream, sing, and I want to kill all of you. And he looks so angry driving. He's like, oh. Oh my God, sometimes I feel I got to run away.
Also, the two friends of hers were, so one was Parker Posey, who, she's been in a lot of stuff. I love her in Josie and the Pussycats. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Man.
But like, that's a great movie. We should do that movie.
Okay.
It's so funny. But she was in Dazed and Confused, and so was the actress who played Connie.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure the third friend, who you didn't see a lot, but I tried to look closely, I'm pretty sure she's in Dazed and Confused too.
Oh.
I was like, this is a little reunion. And I think Dazed and Confused also came out in 93. I'm pretty sure.
Well, good catch there, Kate. I did not see that. It came out in 1993.
Yeah, best year for movies.
Wow.
See that? I know. Too funny. But we get introduced to Chris Farley. And
so good.
He's so good.
He is the chunk from Goonies. He is, oh my God, who was our latest one that we loved?
Tum Tum.
He is the Tum Tum of Three Ninjas. Like, he is so funny in this movie. He just nails it. Ugh, Ronnie.
And I love how Connie, he's like, sorry, Mr. Conehead, car's not ready, blah. And then he's like, call you, car's ready. And so Beldar goes away. And Connie just, walks up and she's like, Ronnie, I just don't understand why. And then she, like you said, spills out 5,000 words about basically just saying, why can't you fix a car in, a normal amount of time? And he's like, maybe I was just, finishing a beer. And she's like, haha, okay. And then she leaves. And I was like, yeah, Connie, you go. So
I'll tell
funny.
you this, in Planet Remulac, there was some great self-confidence in that household, because
definitely
looking the way they looked, they were feeling good. And then I think they quickly go on a date. So they kind of skip the whole asking out. And that's when she inhales the Subway sandwich, the faster than anyone has known to man.
Which, rewatching it now on a better TV, that CGI, not great.
No.
Not great.
I didn't even know what sandwich it was. I was like, what is this even?
I don't know, because she
It's like
ate
a
it in a
breadstick.
second. So you're like, what? And then she goes, you gonna eat that? He hasn't even touched yet. Amazing. Amazing. Oh my God.
We have a quick appearance from another SNL cast member, Kevin Nealon, who is schooling Michael McKean on, hey, you screwed up the Donald R.D. Chico case. I don't care about your fancy promotion for 17 years. I want you to go back to this other case, and I need you to get them. And he's like, Kevin Nealon.
And I didn't get any of it.
No, I
but
didn't
I also
understand it at
didn't
all.
care. I was like, whatever, let's get him back in here.
They
It's
just
fine.
had to get Connie to grow up.
Yeah. I like how they did that though, because honestly, the movie's the perfect length of time. If it went on longer,
Yes.
I don't think I would have been into it. But they skipped all that stuff, and they're like, we're just gonna have her when she's older and a little more wise, and that's gonna be fun. And it was fun.
She was so good. And Kate, we had a little 16 candle scandal in the car where Chris Farley got a little handsy.
No.
And
didn't like it.
She just told him, I'm just learning how to kiss. And he took it too far.
He took it too far. He sexually harassed, and he doesn't even try to sexually harass her face or body. He goes for her cone.
Ugh.
That's too much. That I don't have a cone on my head, but if I did...
If you did, it'd be sacred.
Get away. Inappropriate. And then, and somewhere in there, Beldar is also getting sexually harassed by a human, because something's happening here.
Well, in pure 90s middle-class fashion. So they have worked their way up the lower to middle class. They have this beautiful daughter, this wonderful house, and the neighbor's assumption is, well, Beldar is a catch, and some women, are just trying to always steal your husband. And since all the wife does is read Good Housekeeping and Cosmopolitan, she's like, oh no, except they were kind of spot on, because this lady essentially like smooched Beldar, and he was not having it. He was not
having it.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. I am your teacher. You are my student. But then he's like, when my race takes over your planet, you will come to no harm. And I was like, I guess, but like, she's not that important.
Get rid of her too. Get rid of her too.
What's happening?
Oh my god. But it's very quick, except Beldar definitely almost kills Chris Farley when he finds out that he was being a flandip.
Flandip! Oh my god, I wrote that. See, that was one where I was like, could I say this in real life and not get weird looks? I don't know if I could get away with that, but flandip?
I think you would get weird looks, but I would laugh.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, well, maybe I'll say it around you and see if you remember.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was funny. I love how he rips open the top of the car and then he just puts it back on.
Oh my god.
When he's done talking to him. And then Chris Farley goes, thank you.
Thank you. And then he pretty much just keeps like following him around town. Hey, Mr. Conehead, how's it going?
He's like, I'm really sad. I miss Connie. And Beldar's like snickering as he's saying that to him. So good. So good.
This is you quoted this line, I think, last time, where Connie is crying her green tears, because that's what aliens do.
Which I don't think I've ever noticed any other time in my life. I was like, oh, okay, those are green.
So
neon
random.
Green. Oh my.
That's when she says, I read in a magazine you could talk to me about anything. I was like, oh boy.
It's so funny. Because honestly, I feel like there's more people who admittedly could say that. The magazine told me to do it. So here I am. Here I am, trying to be a mom.
Oh my god.
Her talk was nice, though. She was just basically like, yo, you're like young and boys are dumb. And like, maybe you like one, but then they move away and then you like another and life goes on. And you're like, yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
And we start to see Beldar's, again, this is also a middle-class dream in the 90s, becoming a golf star.
Oh my god, the golfing. I was like,
my god. And
white people golfing.
And simultaneously, this is how he gets roped into her sports, because she literally is like an Olympic diver.
I know,
with that cone-shaped head.
I see her in Japan. What's happening?
She should be in Tokyo right now.
Yes.
And then he also gets roped into doing the Gandalf-style fireworks at homecoming.
Boom! Oh, it was amazing. Oh, amazing. I love that. Yeah, it's like, there's just a lot of like little scenes where you're like, this really isn't necessary for the plot, but like, you're just here to make us giggle, and that's fun. The only like relevant thing that came from that is then Connie and Connie get back together.
Yes.
So that's cool, I guess.
I have a question to add to your trivia game that you've been building. This is like a super bonus final round question. Who was the diving coach for Dan Aykroyd's daughter Connie in the 1993 movie Coneheads?
Ellen DeGeneres.
What? No one is ever gonna guess that. No one is honestly, gonna guess that.
I always remembered the coach was like, okay, a lady with short blonde hair, but like, I never, ever in my life made the connection like, oh yeah, that's Ellen DeGeneres. Because she's so, like, you don't even see her full on. I don't think you just kind of hear her talking normally. She's not making any jokes. So you're like, is this Ellen? What's happening? That might have been her first movie role too. I feel like I actually read that somewhere. Yep, film debut of Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow.
But boom! Yeah, there's just so many random people.
Oh, that could be a better question. Like, whose first film debut? And you could have had multiple people for this show. Because this movie actually, like, gave, like, you said Adam Sandler Ellen
Yes.
DeGeneres. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. And actually, it said Drew Carey. This was his first movie.
Oh
too.
my God, Drew Carey.
I know. It's so funny.
And then in the midst of all this 90s middle class chaos, we have the wife try to seduce Beldar with her candles and
Whoa, that's a fire hazard.
and
Tell you
her
that.
sexy cone wig.
It was like a French, like what, you know what I'm talking about? Like a Marie Antoinette wig where it's like powdery and you're like, no.
But what was funny is this is when the agents were on their tail and they were listening to the house and they're like, sounds like a cat's dying in there. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, candles like that, gonna cause a fire.
Ugh.
I like it.
And I thought about it. This movie could have technically ended with them going back to their planet. Like, that could have been the end. And they just took it a little step further. And I was happy they did. Because then you saw them adapt with what they learned on Earth in their own planet. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't too long. But I loved, like, I was like, oh, does this movie end? And I was like, no. They have to fight the Garthok. So
Also, I love how the two immigrant guys get like taken, or they really don't get taken. They kind of like
they jumped on.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I would not do that.
Wait, I have a question. So before the spaceship comes,
yes,
and this is all within the same night, is they have some type of like costume party, with adults and children, and was it at a country club?
Yes.
Okay, because that makes sense, because then that's where he gets a trophy. Okay, what was Prymatt's costume?
I thought it was a lipstick.
Oh my God.
Wait,
that's
was
amazing.
it? I don't know.
God, I hope so. Oh my God,
I'm
I hope so.
Googling it now.
I had no idea what it was. I had absolutely no idea. Wow. I bet she is a lipstick. That makes total sense because her cone was all red.
Oh yeah, lipstick. Lipstick
was
in
a
a
lipstick?
tube.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God, I love that. I also didn't know what Ronnie was supposed to be. I was like, you could either be Meatloaf, which prob's not, or Elvis.
Or Danny
like
Zuko.
Danny Zuko. Or who knows? He was just living his best life. They stayed at that party for like 2 minutes.
2 seconds.
And then Connie's like, we better get out of here and go have sexy ring time because I gotta go. And woo!
Well, but Beldar winning golfer of the year.
Oh my God.
And his
reaction.
face. Katie, I hope we get a moment in life where we get to like pretend that we're surprised but not surprised at like the gift or award we get, because I don't think anything was better than that reaction. I was laughing so hard.
I know, I definitely have to find like a screen capture of that moment because it's so funny.
That would be a good meme. It's like, you know, when you didn't realize that you won.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So good.
All right. So, so they get taken back to their planet, and the two, Michael McKean and David Spade, are like, we're here too. And you're like, wow. And then, like, right away, it's like, okay, now you're going to talk to the head person, the guy, I don't know, the leader or whatever.
I wrote the King of Remulac. That's
King
not right.
Of Remulac. He was something. Yeah. What? He's expecting Beldar, who they abandoned on this planet for 17 years. He's like, what'd you bring me? I was like, what are you, a 5-year-old? Like, what is this? Oh my God.
It's funny because I thought, he doesn't like what he brought him. But he technically did. He was thrilled with what he brought him, except for Kate.
His teeth.
So this is like, I'm going to take this to a weird place, but it's like a plastic surgery moment. It's like, I don't care that you were in Earth and you did all this stuff, but you changed who you were. And that is against our Remulac morals.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Your teeth?
Well, it was like a cultural thing too, where I can't think of like something that could be equivalent, but
yeah.
Did you notice though what all the gifts were that Beldar was giving him?
From the car?
They were all the cars. I love it. I was like, y'all didn't even plan. This is amazing. This is super great.
He got super lucky. He was like, we have 2 humans? A manual to afford to focus or whatever.
Pack of gum, but it's not gum. Yep, and then we get to Narfle the Garthok, and that's was a fun time. That was definitely like a stop motion-y type thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which, thank God that wasn't CGI, because I think that would have looked like
Nabs.
I kind of was like, okay, this doesn't look great, but I don't expect it to. Like, again, I took the movie lighter, and we see Tim Meadows right away get just...
My God!
Fastest performance ever.
Oh my God. I was like, whoa, you have like the quickest cameo I've ever seen. Like, he literally gets his arm ripped off in like 1 second.
Yeah,
or
you're
something.
like, oh, Tim Meadows.
Oh my God, so funny.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then, Beldar's the last one, and what saves us? The power of God! Oh, and he sings the song too, but I don't know why he started singing that, because to me, I'm like, yo, that thing's gonna know where you are, bro. Like, keep quiet. What are you doing?
It was so funny. I mean, it's cute because he pretended that he was like upset, but he loved being with his daughter and her friends singing the car song. It's like, it's adorable.
He learned the words. That's true.
But this is where I think the movie should get more credit, is because like hitting the golf ball in the throat is like, I mean, it was so perfect. Like, it works so well with the story. It wasn't so random that he picked up golf, know, and he wanted to be the best golfer. Like, it just fits so much with the suburban times.
Well, and it was also like, from what he learned on Earth is what ended up saving him, whereas everyone else who didn't have those experiences got their arms ripped off. Hashtag Tim Meadows. Okay.
Ouch.
Yes. So then the Emperor King guy is like, all right, what do you want now? And then he says, I want to go back to Earth and take over. And he's like, and I want to bring one of those humans with me. And then he goes, I want the one who has more like power or like more like a higher standing or something.
I want Seedling. He is in higher office.
Yes, higher office. That was it. So he's like, Michael McKean, that's you. And then that's where they go, and they're making it look like they're going to blow up the planet. But then Beldar's like, oh no, Connie's so sad. And then he does the whole
swindle.
Oops, we're getting attacked. We're not attacked. We're blown up. Everybody leave us alone. And then everyone was like, thank God we don't have to deal with Beldar anymore. Jesus Christ.
He
killed our Garthok, wasted our time.
And now we have this swarmy human here. I mean,
David Spade.
What are we doing? By the way, any person to get stolen by aliens is David Spade.
Definitely.
Like, if I just laid out all SNL cast members, I'm like, David Spade. 100%. David Spade.
And he would survive. Like,
he would thrive.
Yeah, he wouldn't get murdered. I think he would, like, do pretty well. So, which is probably how this David Spade did after the events of this movie. So.
Oh my God.
And then it ends with Connie, Ronnie going to the prom. And
Adorable.
Beldar goes to Ronnie, he goes, I don't know if it was him or if it was Prymatt, but one of them goes, Ronnie, you look handsome yet uncomfortable.
And he's like, thanks, man.
He's like, oh, my tux stinks. I was like, oh my God, it's so great. It's a cute ending.
It was cute. It was just like,
prom.
Family matters, and I'll do whatever for my daughter. And kind of this planet wasn't really nice to me anyway, so screw them. They put me in front of like a beast to kill me, and I got out with the nick of time. I'm out of here.
Literally, people on Earth are way nicer to him than people on Remulax. So I think it was a good choice.
I agree.
Good choice on his part.
Except if they try to, like, come and conquer the planet, like, that could get bad, Yeah. He's gonna die and not get a heads up.
Yes.
Nobody thought of that. Okay. Well, anyway, something to think about.
Well, I like this movie, and as we've been talking about the past couple weeks, is it a watch or don't watch? I would watch this.
Definitely
I would watch it, and if you've never seen it, just remember it is a comedy. You're not here for Oscar screenwriting.
Don't take it serious.
Here for some giggles and laughs.
Yes. Appreciate all the SNL old characters.
Yes.
Because, like, it's just like a time warp. It's like, what it is? It's like a little SNL reunion. That's what it is watching this.
It really is. Absolutely. Well, Bridge, it is now my turn to pick our next movie. And I know that I'm always the one who's like, oh my God, we've been living in the 90s. It's a great place to live, but we've lived there a long time. Well, we're staying in the 90s.
Okay.
Sorry about it. But this is actually a very different genre. I don't know if we've ever done a movie that fits in this genre, to be honest. Yeah.
We've done a lot of movies, Kate.
I know, but
wow.
Let me check, see what this is classified as.
Oh my god, I'm intrigued.
Because it's kind of like a combo of a couple things. So we last week talked a lot about our love of The Sopranos. And we talked about that a long time. And what do you know? We actually got a fan pick that is relevant to that. So this is from one of my best friends, Miss Christine.
Oh, love you, Christine.
She had recommended Grease. Episode, go and listen to that episode on the movie Grease. But she didn't really give much of a build up for this recommendation, so I'm going to build it up a little bit. So this is this is a long movie, but this is a really good movie. I'll just tell you what the rating is, get you hyped up. It's an 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Ooh, that's high.
Soup's high. This movie came out in 1990. It is rated R.
Ooh.
It features some actors that we have talked about recently. Not in movies we've done, but just in conversation.
Oh.
This is a biography crime drama.
Hey, okay.
Christine is recommending that we watch Goodfellas.
Hey, Karen.
We're gonna watch Karen.
Why I oughta?
We're gonna watch Karen. Oh my god. We're gonna watch
what am I?
Ray Liotta.
Am I funny to you?
Joe
am I a clown?
Pesci. Is this our first Joe Pesci movie?
Oh
yes, I think it
god. This is classic.
So I'll be honest, I have not seen this in a long time.
Oh, okay, but you've seen it.
I've seen it, but it's been a very, very long time, and it's probably because it's 2.5 hours long.
Oh my god, that is a long time.
That'll be a sit down, I'll tell you that.
Okay, well we'll have to not go like literal scene by scene, because it'll be like Lord of the Rings. It'll be like 5 hours later they finish part one.
We'll see.
And Dad will 1,000% have a quote for this, because
he better.
He got me into all these, like Godfather and all those movies, because as we know, despite our father being the most Irish man ever, he actually thinks he's Italian.
That's true, and so does our brother, but, he won't admit to that.
No, he won't.
So, I'm excited because obviously there are a lot of Sopranos actors in this. We all know Karen. Karen's in this. Paulie Walnuts is in this, thank God. Christopher is in. These are all Sopranos characters, by the way, listeners,
what?
if you're confused. Okay. Yeah, lots of people in here, so, but I'm excited. I love Joe Pesci. He is a New Jersey native, so we love that. Is Ray Liotta from New Jersey?
I think so. I want to say yes.
He is. And then Robert De Niro, I don't know where he's from, but
New York. I think he's a New Yorker. Wow. Good pick.
Woo!
I think this will draw the fans, because this may not age as well, like watching it later, because even The Sopranos, I'm sure you've been seeing, like sometimes it's uncomfortable hearing some of the things they say.
There's a lot of parts that are hard to watch.
So I'm intrigued to see if it's as bad as I'm thinking, or maybe it's not. But I'm going to tell you this, Kate. If you were at Subway with me and you inhaled your 6-foot Subway sandwich in 3 seconds like Connie, and asked me if I was going to eat mine, I'd say, no, you can have it, because I love you.
Wow, thanks, Bridge.
You're welcome.
And Bridge, if you were getting hunted down by Michael McKean from immigration, I would go find Adam Sandler and be like, what the heck? I thought you gave us a good Social Security name. You ruined everything. And maybe we'd get a new one. And then it'd be okay.
Okay, thanks. True love.
You're welcome. And listeners, if you also love Coneheads and Subway and don't appreciate how immigration is handled in our country, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts. There's some other listening podcast apps you can leave us a review on. We love that.
Love it.
We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. So if you scroll down on our main page, there is a form you can fill out to request a movie. So our next movie that we will be doing for Goodfellas is a fan pick, and that was done through our website. That could be you, listeners. If you have a burning passion for one of these SNL actors, and you're like, yo, you gotta watch this movie that so-and-so is in, let's do it. And specifically, if you request Billy Madison, I will add it to the top of the list because I am hecka biased. So, hella biased. So
there is no priority order. There is only Katie's order.
I rule everything like the ruler on Remy Lack. You will give me your tire irons.
And you'll
keep the gum. Yeah, I don't want that. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee. We have a Ko-Fi site. Buy us coffee. I think we just got some coffee, and it's amazing. And when our mother came to visit, I had no idea how much coffee she drinks, and I thought to myself, if we have those genes, we need to save up money for more coffee.
Yeah, she has an addiction.
So, that is your way for saying thank you for doing this each week, and mainly thank you, Katie, for doing all the editing, and we appreciate whatever you can give. So, thank you for that.
Yes. So, go do that, check all that out, and we will see you next week, listeners.
Hey, good fellas. Let's go. Bada bing.
Bada bing. It's going to be a lot of bada bing.
Bada boom.
Now.
Oh,
bada bing,
my
bada
Lord.
Boom. All right.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. In David Spade fashion, bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.